Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Afternoon.
afternoon.
Assessing the influence of social responsibility on reputation, an empirical case study in agricultural cooperatives in Spain. Scientific and managerial interest in corporate reputation is growing. Nowadays, the firm's reputation is one of the most valued intangible assets. For quite some time, classified the reputation as the most important intangible for managers. Later, categorized its relevance as the most critical, strategic, and enduring asset that a corporation possesses. Reputation is a comprehensive resource that could include other intangible resources such as the commercial ones. Also, quality and social responsibility, an aspect already noted by the seminar paper of Home Brand and Chandler. About the reputation, it has been said that it's the asset able to allow companies to differentiate themselves by attracting new customers, maintaining the existing ones, and even enabling them to pay a premium for products to its exclusive character. In short, literature suggests that a good reputation is associated with benefits or superior financial results, which justifies the interest towards it by the companies. Recently, some studies have appeared suggesting the reputation management as one of the most important strategic tasks of the company at the present time. Hence, the reputation occupies a prominent place into the strategic field. Although agriculture ethics and sustainability movements have begun in the United States, agricultural academics in Europe are also interested in the ethics of agriculture for some time. In fact, the notion of sustainability as a moral ideal has been considered as relevant to understand the roots in the future of agriculture. If we analyze the variables that reputation is linked to, we show the clear relationship between them and social responsibility. Thus, according to Hirsch and Mayer, reputation is considered as one of the most relevant soft factors in cooperation, but also in ethical policy. The paper from Park discusses the relationship between important initiatives and reputation. The results show that the initiatives of economic and legal type of social responsibility have a direct positive effect on reputation, while ethical initiatives not present that one. On the other hand, we cannot forget the impact on stakeholders, and in this sense, teacher and Hildebrand point out that reputation is one of the most valued assets and cause a multitude of favorable impacts on different stakeholders. In line with Griffith's contribution, considering CR as a multi-stakeholder concept and analyzing the relationship with the social responsibility, we note the work of Balderin and Quigley who explore the reputation under a socially responsible perspective. In the present study, the issue of CR is linked to the figure of cooperative societies. Therefore, we deal with a topic related to leverage the impact of social responsibility in different business contexts. These organizations are defined by the International Cooperative Alliance or ICA as an autonomous association of entities who have voluntarily united to meet their economic, social, and cultural aspirations in common through a jointly owned and democratically controlled enterprise. But it is worth stressing, cooperatives want to trade successfully. They are businesses, not charities. After all, they are considered as a valid alternative to profit-oriented firms due to its ability to overcome certain limits, such as the orientation to economic and financial results and the maximization of shareholder profits. At European level, following Cooperatives Europe and the background of the report Building Strong Development Cooperation, Partnership Opportunities Between Cooperatives and the EU, we can state that 2.0 1.6 million cooperatives have over 1 million members, and 1 in every 6 people on average in the world has membership or is cooperative. Other key points are the following: cooperative employment directly concerns 250 million people in the world. This figure includes directly employed workers and also self-employed producer members. Cooperatives hold US$20 US dollar trillion in assets and generate US$3 trillion in annual, and cooperatives are generally locally owned and operated enterprises. As mentioned, the cooperative legal form has a great economic importance within the business community. However, if we compare the role of cooperatives in the business arena with the legal importance of cooperative devoted to reputation, we can see how it can be classified as insufficient, being more daring as non-existent. Work we propose to cover a gap in existing research because the field of study of CR is expanded to cooperative social responsibility and its management. Following, Bataglaya used for sustainability played a key role in supporting the tools used for sustainability played a key role in supporting the cooperative to reinterpret its own values and in stimulating a new and participative management approach. In this context, there is a need to justify the variables that can influence the CR, since it is an intangible asset that has not been studied to date in businesses. Consider that cooperatives have suffered from identity and image problems such as being little known, prejudice, and misunderstanding. Following, it is widely accepted the very little scholarly research available in cooperatives, and for this reason, they suggested that cooperatives should be taken seriously in both the literature and policy. In fact, our aim is to provide insight about the role of social responsibility in the development of CR in cooperatives. The absence of sales reputation for this company has led us to raise its measurement through variables that can clearly relate their value on the basis of the literature reviewed: innovation, certification, award, and performance of social responsibility. Especially, we will work to analyze the last variable to play in the development of cooperative reputation, having previously considered in other studies and in other contexts such as antecedent of innovation or quality. Our empirical studies focus exclusively on the analysis of olive oil cooperatives. We have already argued the previous present of cooperatives in this area of research, which support its incorporation into this paper. Similarly, we must also indicate that the oil mills together constitute a business formula model of great economic and social importance, and therefore of interest to develop any kind of investigation, strengthen their competitiveness, improve their management and commercialization. This relevance is vital for the province of Jane, which is the largest world production of olive oil, and by extension, where the highest percentage of such companies, in fact, along the main lines of the strategic plan of the province. We should note that reputation is a vital asset for the business leader in light of companies' need for differentiation when marketing their product. According to Dasquez, Abad, and Sanchez Perez, the future of this sector will pass through the implementation of strategies for market differentiation and segmentation. And then, reputation can be an element of differentiation and play a role in obtaining a competitive advantage that will offer benefits and balance in the context in which the activity occurs. Moreover, reputation would help strengthen the cooperative's benefits and maintain its competitive position over time. This fact makes RM in the olive oil industry strategy strategy that would allow businesses to ultimately sell their product and guarantee their market position. Therefore, in this study, we reinforce the role of research in addressing real problems for companies, given that from the perspective of computation, reputation management ultimately contributes to acquiring a fundamental tool for oil retail partnership and for other companies. This paper is structured as follows. The next section describes the theoretical framework of our study and its hypothesis. The third section outlines the method and procedure. The fourth section describes the main findings. Finally, we discuss our results and underline inputs, the future research. Theoretical framework and hypothesis. The environment in which cooperatives are operating is no different, and the turbulence and speed with which the changes occur should try to be mitigated by using a strategic approach. The benefit of some opportunities and invade threats from abroad is vital to the survival of any business question. Whatever, it also have to meet another set of requirements. We refer to the cooperative principles that mark the distance between the management of these companies and the capitalistic companies. In fact, only three of the seven cooperative principles have clear economic and financial implications, leaving the remaining focus in the social field. Vargas and Gravalos also share this idea by stating that the future of the cooperative society will be inexorably linked to its ability to meet its dual character, business and cooperative. Also, Novkovic outlined some characteristics of this type of firms that constitute key elements and which are based in their principles. He is referring to market power, market externalities, and social entrepreneurship. Other authors, as Battaglia, state that cooperatives have to face the challenge to be competitive without losing their values and principles. For everything said, we defend the implementation of a strategic approach to any type of companies, including cooperatives. Based on the models that literature provides for the measurement of CR or corporate reputation, we believe that it is desirable for the cooperative case a new orientation in order to position SR or social responsibility in the heart of CR or corporate reputation, as well as to handle other aspects considered highly relevant to these types of companies, such as innovation, quality, and awards received. The present market circumstances are giving increasing importance to innovation, to the possession of certification systems, to obtaining prizes and awards, as well as any type of information to support SR. As a repeated demand to any type of business, social responsibility is fully applicable to cooperative societies, especially when they are accountable not only for its economic performance but also social. As a result, corporate reputation as an indicator of both actions becomes, for the above reasons, a key asset in the management of them. The development of a causal model among these variables in a cooperative context will confirm the relationship between DR and SR as evidence among others. On the other hand, the results obtained from the empirical evidence of the proposed model, once it has been tested, will allow us to define the necessary weightings. The weightings will not be subjective, but rather based on the empirical results obtained in a representative sample. Therefore, our intention is to validate a new model adapted to the reality of the cooperative sector of SR on quality and innovation. Given the relevance of the SR and the effect of the other variables in the model, there are theoretical foundations that lead us to propose a direct relationship between the SR and quality and innovation. Some scholars point to obvious parallels evolution in SR and quality as well, the convergence between these topics. One of the most repeated demands from the consumer is the quality of goods and services offered. In that sense, SR needs to address this requirement and to establish it as a final objective of its production and distribution processes. In the agri-food system, increased demand for product quality is one of the major changes over recent decades. On an international scale, in words of Galdiano Gomez, related to previous question is the role the certified organizations had reviewed the main advantages associated to ISO 9000 and ISO 14000 as one of the most recognized standards of quality. Between all the benefits appointed by these authors, we should underline the external marketing advantage derived from the improvement of CR. Also establish the main difference between the traditional standards and ISO 26000 as a SR standard. In their opinion, SR include all the stakeholders ranging from customers to society in large, and quality is only linked with customers. Cooperatives' values and principles are implicitly integrated by SR in this type of firms, but also these companies have to create member benefits on the good and service market. This implies the quality as an external or internal demand for cooperatives. We share this vision under each one. Hypothesis 1. The better the orientation, SR is cooperative management, the higher is the quality.
SR and innovation has emerged over the past decade as a relevant topic in business management. The strategy of the company should address SR into its priorities to give an answer to social, environmental, and human rights demand. This question involves innovation as a tool to deal with these social requirements. The traditional approach to innovate implies the ability to anticipate and react to market changes and rethink strategies, leadership, and decision-making literature. These author purpose as a strategy to classify consumers, analyze in order to create positive experience for quality and innovation. In the cooperative field, the social innovation has much to do with the dual nature previously explained. It is assumed that cooperative principles and values introduce innovation in order to encourage the development of competitive advantage and create opportunities. Cooperative principles create also social capital, and this is fundamental for knowledge management and innovation. However, we should note that despite all the advantage associated with the management of innovation by cooperative in general, they are less innovative than other companies, justifying this affirmation by the greater risk aversion of partners and the difficulties of access to capital, being less focused on technical innovation than private companies. This last question justify our hypothesis too.
Better the orientation is CR in the cooperative management, the higher is the innovation. Effect of quality and innovation on the achievement of awards. The quality management is clearly linked to the interest of companies to get a quality certification, such as ISO or Global Quality Management Systems, environmental management systems, among others. A close relationship tends to be between certification and legitimated organizations. In that sense, building on the idea that certification contest is credentials that enable firms to acquire a reputation for competence, we introduce the relationship between quality and awards. In that sense, it is possible to justify from the theory the fact of having a certification results in higher chances to win prizes by companies. This leads to be this leads us to raise HR. The quality, the higher is the awards received by the cooperative. There is nothing new to affirm that innovative companies achieve significant benefits, both tangible type, root, and intangible superior financial resources, including improving their reputation. Henrad and Danica. In fact, Henrad and Dasin consider that yet research investigation of the list station remain relatively uninvestigated, despite their promise as a source of sustainable competitive advantage. This result was empirically tested by their paper through product innovation and its impact on consumers. Recently, Matera and Dena focused on the rules that effective management of the degree of innovation stakeholders known by the market practice and the creation of competitive advantages in their study applied to highly reputable companies included in Spanish Forum of Leading Brands. These authors conclude that if we consider the interest of stakeholders in the innovation process is more likely to increase the intangible heritage. We considered that innovation is variable that mediate the relationship between prices and CR. Innovation inducement prices have been the focus of a long literature, according to Williams. So therefore, are many prices to be associated with entrepreneurial innovation, hence resulting defensible hypothesis for, and also these prices are created to promote the stimulation of innovation. The higher is the innovation, the higher is the awards received by the
Word on the corporate reputation, achieving awards by companies could be considered indicative as a degree of business reputation. To determine a cause for market differentiation, in fact, reputation is influenced by the result of the companies in the past, and in the logic, we can say that the greater the number of award and prize accumulated, the higher will be the reputation of the company. The main cause lies in the effect that they have on those which could be considered essential pillars for business, for building a good reputation: authenticity, transparency, visibility, and consistency. Consequently, premium will be increased the visibility, the achievement award, and its effect on the reputation to go show how the concept of reputation of the company is attributive, as already stated Thompson in 1996. That is, receive an award can be interpreted as a finding that stockholder value and shares of the company positive past actions that lead to a recognition that will build a positive reputation. Following Rio, right? Yes. The perception of product quality has much to do with its reputation. In a similar way, Lockwood in 2007 explained how the recognition of a prize may contribute to a brand image and reputation of the organization and give prestige to a consumer while confirms that obtaining an award especially influence yields on long-term action. Self also discuss the relationship between reputation and awarding of prizes, noting that there is a direct relationship between the number of awards received by an organization and opportunities to enhance their reputation for the benefits of all companies that receive them. More recently, you and Pay, Pi, what's Pay in 2015 indicate that win prestigious award is a manifestation of corporate and financial reputation of the organization, which will means that company are interested in the establishment of improvement of goods CR. This issue is under by ZEC in 2007 in the opposite direction. Reputation is critical to the success of the awards that an organization can receive according to this author.
The conceptual model. Building on the preceding literature review and hypothesis development, the following model links a cooperative's SR to three relational constructs: quality, innovation, and awards to the CR. Method and procedures. Method. To test the causal model proposed after reviewing specific literature on this topic, it has been applied structural equation modeling based on the methodology of partial least square or PLS software developed by Ringo in 2005. To be able to explore the linkage between the research variables and attain the objectives for the study, it has been chosen of SEM as the method to use since it is considered appropriate for this purpose in the field of business management research. The choice was based on SEM, offering the possibility of combining and confronting theory with empirical data from cooperatives by performing multiple regressions between the variables included in the study, considering there are not directly observable. As you can see in the figure 1, conceptual model source the quality SR award indication and attention to SR has gradually become a concurrent strategy of modern companies management. Much has been written on SR, stakeholder satisfaction strategy, competitive advantage, and business success. It is well known that cooperatives are playing an increasingly important role in the balancing economy, social, and environmental concerns. In the last year, SR has become a specific topic of cooperatives concern as a key issue in the strategic agenda of competitive cooperatives. According to the definition of cooperative determined by the International Cooperative Alliance, the economic and financial gains are not the end of the activities of the cooperatives. Instead, they are only instrument to meet the present and future needs of their members, consumers, and employees. Thus, cooperatives have a different and unique approach to SR defined by their people, product, principles, environment, community, democracy, and development. Consider the main axis of this approach. The contribution of cooperative has been recognized as main actors for sustained economy because of their capacity in enhancing local economies output and fostering regional development and population welfare. Even acknowledging that the degree of implementation of SR is still different in companies, cooperative seems to be responsible by nature. However, reputation management has not been a visible strength in the cooperative enterprises. This work has theoretically analyzed the relationship between SR and reputation in cooperative. Latter, from a practical point of view, we have carried on an empirical analysis focused on the olive oil cooperatives in the south of Spain, in the province of Jaén. As a result, this work has some conclusion and implication. First, it should be noted that the prior related works have examined the relationship between SR and reputations, but they have never considered the cooperative business sector. Second, our results are in line with the general theory as they prove the influence exerted by SR as an antecedent of reputation. According to our results, we conclude that this influence of SR on award is through its effect on quality and innovation, since when such as variables are introduced within the model, the direct SR award relationship becomes unsupported. This means that both quality and award plays an important mediating role on the SR award type. So that's all. I hope that everybody can understand the case study we discussed. Thank you.